Don't forget to put up your little lower third.
Oh, fuck. See, oh my gosh, where's my lower third? See, you sent it to my shadow vein one, so I don't even have half the shell on the side anymore. Let's see.
It's the first one that popped. It's the only one that popped up with a picture. I can't.
Jeez.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Blame the googs.
I will.
I'm just glad you're here.
Aw.
Tonight's NXT is like an all-new episode.
I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, Tommaso is on there and Biff.
That's what you said, yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah, Biff got a lot in on Cruz. I was surprised.
I like how sparse your basement is.
Mine?
Yes.
It's actually, well, it's just...
Oh, there's a whole nother section.
Yeah. Look at that.
Because I just looked from the camera. I see the closet and the TV, and then there's nothing on the walls.
Well, that's because I have different paint samples on my walls, so I don't want to use that angle. And then I have the kids' toys all behind me, so man cave / playroom.
Sure.
Let's see. Did you send me a picture of the logo, or is it high enough res that I can take it from Facebook? Do you think?
The one on Facebook is the one that I have, so that's the one that I would send you.
So that'd be probably the same res then. I could probably just take that. I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna test the stream, the Twitch stuff tonight, and see if I can add that to there.
Cool.
It's running a cycle right now of just like all of our podcast brands.
Nice. In the Beefcase Network.
And that's not what it's gonna be called.
God damn it!
I'm thinking of like Ferocity Entertainment or something. I don't know. I have not come up with something yet.
I am still also a fan of the Bunch of Dicks Network.
No, you're not going to be the Bunch of Dicks Network.
And then at the end of the stinger, at the end of every show, is just a voice going, "Man, what a bunch of dicks."
Oh Christ! All right, let's see. We'll call this Rundown.
And I do enjoy Bill's idea for the logo of it being a bouquet of
penises.
He said penises. I was saying face shots of people named Dick. So you got yourself a Dick Van Dyke, a Dick Van Patten, got yourself a Dick Nixon, Dick Clark.
Fantastic.
Bunch of dicks.
All right.
And then that one picture that's famous on the internet with the dude in a dick suit with just dicks hanging off of his entire body.
There you go.
Every Halloween. I say that's going to be my costume every Halloween. I haven't done
it. That would be a fantastic costume.
Have fun trick-or-treating with your son and that.
I know, right? Well, I just say don't give out the candy. I'm sure all the parents come to the house.
Until the cops show up. Are you guys trick-or-treating too? All right. Is everybody ready to go?
Sure. Why the heck not?
Well then, this is episode 236.
God damn.
I know, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Okay. I was on the first, 4 episodes of 2016, so fuck you. I did a mini-sode. I was on, every time because no one wanted to be on here with you. And I'm like, I will help you, Adam. I love you.
Yeah, nobody likes me.
Oh. And I don't have a small girl that never wants to sleep.
You're right. 236 in 3, 2, 1, record. This week's episode of The Rundown is brought to you by the Vince McMahon family-friendly, freeform, fantastical, fanatical flyer foundation. Jeez, Vince, how many F words do you know? At FastLane on Sunday, Mauro Ranallo provided play-by-play for the pre-show, but then once the pay-per-view proper started, the chair went to Michael Cole. Why do they hate us?
Is that the dude from SmackDown?
Yes.
I think I heard about 30 seconds of him on a recap when I was watching FastLane. That's about the most I've ever heard of the guy.
He's good. He's a good commentator.
It's kind of like they served you prime rib, and then the second course was a fish.
Yes. Yeah. I guess they just don't love us. But we'll get into how much they don't love us when we talk about Raw.
Yeah. For your appetizer, we have an ahi tuna tartare. For your entree, a Big Mac.
I think Raw showed us that they love us. It was FastLane that let us down.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll get to that. But first, theme song.
Ah!
Drinky.
I'm on number 2.
What's Jason?
If I got a podcast, I got to at least have a few drinks in me.
I'm glad you have to be drunk to talk to me.
I'm chasing it with some water. It's all good.
It doesn't have to be, but it helps.
Acknowledged more often than John Cena during Daytona 500 coverage. It's episode 236 of The Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host, and it is Wednesday, February 24th, 2016. Joining me this week, Jason's back.
Once again,
We haven't scared him off
demand.
yet. And making his once bi-monthly appearance, Andrew is here.
Hey, I'm here. I'm back. I'm ready to go, and we're going to talk about some things. And for once, I've actually watched some of the products.
Shock and awe. Shock and
awe. The world
awe.
is coming to an end.
Well, we're going to start as we do most weeks. We have two.
Let me guess. Is it a Sal voicemail?
It's a Sal voicemail. Sean wants to chime in on the side. Co-ghost Sean says, Ronaldo's good, but he's no Adam Lee. You're correct there.
Oh.
I do still miss Mike Adam Lee.
You are the only one.
I don't
Ronaldo
care. I don't care if I'm
knows
the
the
only
English language. That's the big difference.
I don't care if I'm the only one. All right. I'm a fan of Mike Adam Lee.
I'm the only one. Play it. Do it, fucker.
Hang on.
Please wait while Adam figures out how to use this fucking phone.
Dipshit forgot to turn the volume up. Hold on.
Yep. Oh, this is good radio. Good thing you'll probably not edit that out.
Nope.
Now, did you change the settings so it won't fall asleep this time?
Nope.
Did you put the background so it's not a big picture of my
They
penis?
shock the wrestling world last night. They certainly accomplished that task. If they wanted to get everybody talking about what was going on in the WWE, they certainly accomplished that task. And Lord knows they weren't going to do it with friggin' Triple H versus Roman Reigns. So when they decided to announce the winner of the Vincent J. McMahon Legacy Award, I instantly knew it was either going to be Stephanie or Triple H. Why not get a bunch of heat on them? And they did. What I didn't realize is who would be coming out to interrupt them. I was completely shocked to see the return of Shane McMahon. I thought he hasn't lost a step. I thought he was amazing on the microphone. I thought his dancing was great. I thought he was great going back and forth with his father and his sister. And I love the whole segment except for the match they booked him in. And I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just a little shocked. I guess, injuries happen, and the obvious idea was this originally going to be Cena, and they don't want to rip John Cena's rotator cuff off the bone completely, so I don't think it's a good idea if he wrestles at this year's WrestleMania. But when you looked around the roster, who else did they have aside from a 70-year-old Vince getting in there himself? I thought there was an opportunity where they could have turned Roman heel, and maybe they could have tossed him against Taker, but I will say that this Shane McMahon versus Undertaker match scheduled for WrestleMania inside Hell in a Cell is at the very least intriguing. Shane is younger than Sting. He moves a lot better than Sting. And he's going to do a lot of crazy spots, because if he's going to step back in that ring, he's not going to do it a la Bret Hart WrestleMania 26 style. So we will have to see. I'm looking forward. It is intriguing. I am also looking forward to my boy, Dean Ambrose, especially after he got his face stepped on last night by Brock Lesnar. Way to get Brock some heat. I actually think Dean will go over. And speaking of which, just to give a really quick couple points about FastLane, I am shocked that Dolph Ziggler is fallen that far that people are booing him now, even in his hometown. I am shocked that there was a sign that said "Fired Ziggler" prominently featured in the first segment of Raw. Apparently, his character has become so stale that people just don't give a shit anymore. And speaking of Dolph Ziggler, his opponent in that match was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens retained the Intercontinental title. He's another guy that could have been put in there against Taker, but they didn't do enough in the past year to build his character up. So if you have Kevin Owens as the Intercontinental Champion, the only logical explanation is you move him into a program with AJ Styles. Who knows? Right now, AJ is quote-unquote tagging with Chris Jericho. He just needs to go away. Jericho, not AJ. And they're fighting against the Social Outcast, which, give it up for Kurt Axel, first pay-per-view win since Father's Day 2013. But we shall see. If we can get AJ and Owens, we can get, we're going to get Brock and Ambrose. Maybe this WrestleMania won't be as bad after all. Aside from the main event. Talk to you guys next week.
But wait, there's more.
Oh boy.
There goes another 7 minutes of my life. Hey, he deserves it. He was a dick to me.
Shane McMahon returned to the WWE this past Monday night. He had alluded to the fact that he has been in power, but behind the scenes. He had mentioned that Stephanie McMahon rose to prominence because he allowed it. What other storylines can we tie up for the past 8 years with Shane being in power behind the scenes? Number one, very recently, last week on Raw, Kevin Owens said he was not going to face Dolph Ziggler at FastLane, and quote-unquote WWE officials said that he will be facing Dolph Ziggler at FastLane. That could have been Shane. Number two, the anonymous Raw general manager, also Shane. Number three, when Vince's limo blew up, Shane. Number four, Vince's additional son was Hornswoggle. Yeah, we can give that one to Shane too. Let's see here.
I'm stretching now.
Triple H and Stephanie as the Authority rise to power. Yeah, that's definitely Shane.
Come on, Sal.
How about anybody who's during the John Laurinaitis storyline, somebody kept cutting off the microphones. Shane. Let's just have Shane tie up all the loose ends, and then, all the Buffaloes will get their wings. Talk to you guys next week.
I think you forgot the guy who left the turd in the toilet that Goldust stepped on.
Yep. There's that too.
Shame.
Oh, and I thought Josh knew how to kill a joke. Jesus Christ. Oh man.
Okay.
Love you, Josh. Where do you want to start?
Yeah.
There's so many places to start. We can go in chronological order anyway. We can start with at least discuss Fastlane. I thought it was decent. On Facebook, I gave it a B- for being for slightly exceeding expectations, but coming in pretty middle of the road. Jason, you're shaking your head at me.
I wish I had teachers like you when I was in school. That was a B-. My God. First off, let's go. The in-ring stuff you had, Styles and Jericho, was probably either that or Owens and Ziggler were the best matches on the show.
Yeah.
The entire second half of your show, the New Day segment was a complete waste of time that did nothing to advance anybody. Are New Day faces or heels coming out of that? Because I don't know. They did the whole interview as heels and then celebrated with Edge and Christian afterwards after they had a run-in with a heel group.
Right, but everyone hates foreigners.
Well, sure, but the point is you spent a year now building these guys up as your top heel tag team, and now all of a sudden you're not telling me at all what they are or what they're doing or where they're going. So it's like
they expect people to cheer them against the League of Nations anyways. So fuck it, who cares what they? Who cares how they're actually aligned?
I would have had less of a problem. I think I would have enjoyed the show more had that segment been on the kickoff show where it would have been perfectly fine, and that 2 out of 3 falls match got moved to the main card. Because when I'm looking at a show where the pre-main event match is R-Truth and Curtis Axel, Alberto Del Rio is on the pre-show, I instinctively have a problem with it. But
I'll grant you that one.
Speaking of the 2 out of 3 falls match, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it, but I really dislike 2 out of 3 falls matches where 2 falls occur within 3 minutes of each other.
I love the psychology of it, though. You don't see that too often, where you can sit there and go, Del Rio is a genius for getting himself disqualified to beat the ever-loving shit out. Like, it's the type of booking decision that's smart, makes sense, and that you don't usually get from the WWE.
He should have hit him with the chair more often. Last time I saw something like that was actually that I remember was the Iron Man match between Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle on SmackDown many years ago. Mm-hmm. Where Kurt Angle won the first fall because Brock grabbed a chair and beat the shit out of him with it.
Well, Kurt hadn't yet learned to just punch him in the dick.
I know. I kind of side with you, Adam, on the pay-per-view. I think that it was pretty good. I'd say it was a solid B. And that's coming from the teacher of the group. The women's matches were good. The main event, for the most part, was good. I think that the New Day segment was a little odd. I think that the Curtis Axel decision was kind of strange in its placement. But the Jericho match was really fantastic. The Dolph Ziggler and Owens match was phenomenal. And I thought a lot of the strength was in the middle and undercard of it, and that's what made a solid pay-per-view for me.
But coming out of that pay-per-view, did you have any idea what was WrestleMania? This is the last big event before WrestleMania, and I knew nothing about WrestleMania until the next night on Raw.
And that's normal, though. That's absolutely normal.
I knew
what the main event for WrestleMania was going to be: Triple H versus Roman Reigns, which was, if you're going to build if you set one thing, set the main event.
Sure. I think there was a better way to get there. I also hated going off the air with these two guys who are blood rivals, absolutely hate each other. Triple H walks down in his suit and just holds up the belt while Roman stands there like an idiot. And that just speaks to more horrible booking of Roman Reigns. I said it last week. This guy needs to be a badass. If I'm a badass and you come down and get in my face and try to rub my face in it like that, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. The way they ended Raw is the way they should have ended FastLane.
Okay, fair enough.
Fake blood and all?
I don't buy the blood capsule.
You don't buy the blood capsule?
No, I think he definitely cut himself, but I don't buy the blood capsule. I think you would lose so much cred in the back if you used a blood capsule, and I don't see it.
I don't know. I feel like it was. I feel like it was just from watching it and then watching it back, and noticing the amount of blood that was on his hands.
Well, yeah, because he was doing this after he got punched. The thing to notice is that as Triple H is punching him in the face repeatedly, and the blood is covering Triple H's tape on his hands, because you got to tape up your hands before you come out for not a match. But as he's punching him,
he knew he was going to beat the shit out of him.
There is not less blood on Roman's face. There is more after that happens. Whereas if it's coming off on Triple H's hand and it's a blood capsule, you would assume it would be less on Roman's face.
Either way, science, bitch. Either way, can I talk about how maybe I don't know if it was maybe because I didn't watch it live and it got spoiled for me, but I really don't care that Shane's back.
Get out.
I really don't. I'm going to tell you why. Because Shane McMahon, while yes, he's been a paramount, interesting, important figure within the WWE for, forever, we already have enough of this corporate bullshit angle, right? McMahon's back in the picture. We've had the authority thing overplayed. Now we're just adding yet another person onto this to have a McMahon wankfest for the next several weeks. And honestly, I don't want to see Shane McMahon wrestle The Undertaker. I really don't. I don't think it's going to be that good, in all honesty. I mean, there might be some good high spots, but The Undertaker needs one final good match against a really established superstar, and a superstar that maybe needs to get put over hardcore. Because this is not going to do anything for Shane McMahon's career, whereas there are a number of guys that, if they would have booked it properly and built it up properly, could have given a rub to.
Okay. I'm on the other side of that coin. I'm actually really excited Shane's back, and I'm looking forward to seeing the match. But Andy's take is something I've heard from people ever since Monday night that I talked to, and my take is you're talking about sticking this guy into what is now one of the two biggest matches on the card. You have your heavyweight championship match and control of the freaking company. Storyline wise, it does not get much bigger than that. You could stick him in the ring with Kevin Owens. Let's be honest. Taker's not losing to Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, and knowing that he's still going to be back next year because he wants that Cena match. So you put him over on Owens. Now Owens has nowhere to go from there, and Undertaker's not fighting for the Intercontinental title, so that wouldn't make any sense as it is. And the match is just another Undertaker match at WrestleMania. And yeah, it might be good in the ring, but in terms of anticipation and build-up and consequence and storyline, there's really not much more to it than just a match. In this case, you have the sibling rivalry, you have what I think is going to happen in terms, I think ultimately we're going to find out that Shane and Stephanie are working together. Vince wouldn't get out of the way fast enough for them, so they concocted this whole plan to make him put control on the line, and then Stephanie's going to help Shane win. That's my take early on. Who knows? But the stakes and the atmosphere, and Shane's going to do something goddamn insane during this match, make it interesting for me. And Mick Foley was on a podcast recently. He talked about the Hell in the Cell actually being one of the easiest matches to get over in because the Cell is such a strong character in the match. It requires you to do less. So if you're The Undertaker, you add that aspect to Shane doing something insane, and you have a fairly easy night that's going to be memorable.
Yeah, how big can, I mean, yeah, the Cell does. I like the idea of the Cell being another character in the story, and you're absolutely right on that. That will add, I think, to the drama of the storytelling. But at the same time, Shane hasn't been in the ring for how long? And yeah, he may do something big and flashy, but there's going to be a lot of rust there. There's going to be, he's against a guy who can't go as well as nowhere near as well as he used to. And I just don't see it being that entertaining or exciting of a match, in all honesty. There will be a few high spots, but, and I mean, on top of that, this idea of the control of the company thing, I mean, why in the world is The Undertaker going to go through with this match? Like, what does The Undertaker get out of this? They need to build that up.
We'll find that out next week on Raw. Undertaker's returning to Raw on Monday to address the situation. With some people were saying that it seemed like a slip of the tongue, with Shane saying that he was coming back to take control of Monday Night Raw. But there are rumors swirling about that this is actually going to lead to the return of the brand extension and having separate shows, separate rosters, etc. Does that appeal? I mean, people have said, I mean, they brought the brands back together, but the original reason for the brand split was because the roster was so large that there were people who weren't getting exposure. They brought the rosters back together back in 2011, but the locker room size is still pretty much the same as it was before. So do we want to see another brand split? Do we want to see this kind of this separation of SmackDown and Raw, and have to try and get more people over like they did before?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you exactly why. You go back to the original brand split. If you did not have SmackDown as a separate entity at that time from Raw with separate pay-per-views and separate championships, I guarantee you guys like Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio and guys who really elevated to the top tier of the company and held that place once they got there would never have gotten the opportunity to get there. This opens the door for the Kevin Owens of the world the Sami Zayns of the world, maybe even the Nevilles of the world to get to that next level, even if it's on a quote-unquote B show, where usually on the B show the wrestling is the centerpiece, as opposed to Raw, which is storyline driven. And the other interesting thing, one of the rumors I've heard in terms of a brand split is you're going to have Raw, and instead of this time having Raw and SmackDown, you're going to have them pushing NXT as an actual promotion, and it will be Raw versus NXT.
Okay, if that's the case, then because that was going to be my big argument is we don't need a brand split. We already have 2 brands. You've got Raw and SmackDown, and you've got NXT, and NXT is skyrocketing, in popularity in a lot of ways. Maybe not with the full market. But I think that if they go that route, there might be something there. But, I mean, that already exists. We don't need that. We have people going back to NXT, finding success there that, are not finding success on the main roster. But, I think that if they did the full brand split and then pulled, SmackDown back in as the second show, you're going to spread it too thin. You're going to have people who, I mean, there's already an oversaturation in the market right now for wrestling. I mean, I don't know how Adam manages to watch as much wrestling as he does, because I think most normal people have lives and they can't sit and watch 3 hours of Raw and 2 hours of SmackDown and an hour of NXT and all the programming on the WWE Network. I can barely catch one episode of a shortened hour-and-a-half version of Raw a month. So I just think that it's too much wrestling and too much of a risk, especially, it could be something they could build the names if they did one with the NXT name. But if they go beyond that and they try to do 3 different things with the NXT as the breeding ground and you've got 2 different main sort of things like a Raw and a SmackDown, it's not going to work anymore.
But in terms of the oversaturation, that kind of speaks to my point, because what you're talking about is there are different brands and different shows for the different types of fans out there. For the people that want the high-flying crazy stuff, you've got the Lucha Underground. For people that really like shitty stuff, you've got TNA. But for people who want storyline-driven wrestling, you have Raw. For people that want more focus on the in-ring product, you currently have NXT, and you could turn SmackDown into a similar type of thing on a national.
And ROH. Don't forget about ROH.
Yeah, absolutely. ROH too.
Here's the thing. Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
No, that's okay.
I was going to say.
I've been monopolizing. Go ahead.
I've said it a couple times. I don't ever see NXT becoming a regular network show, because it is kind of the cream of the crop for the network. It's one of the big features of the network. Come every week on the WWE Network, come watch NXT, watch these guys kind of make their WWE careers before they come up to the main roster and start appearing on the USA Network. And so if you take NXT off the network, you're losing one of the biggest selling points of the network. And yeah, I mean, it's great, every month we get flashcards, you're saving $45 off the pay-per-views. Let's do some math on Monday Night Raw. But every week you've got Sami Zayn, you've got Bayley, you've got coming up here you've got Shinsuke Nakamura, you've got all these guys that you're only going to see on NXT, you're only going to see on the WWE Network, and that's why you should give them your $10 per month. And I don't see them ever jeopardizing that by taking NXT off the network.
I agree with you, and because go ahead.
There's a way you can do both. You can take SmackDown and make it NXT WWE, for example. We've heard rumors for months now that following WrestleMania, what if they're all coming up as part of SmackDown, and that's going to be the...
He's going Robo Josh on us.
The Raw. Well, Triple H created NXT. I'll go down there.
I heard Bible of the Bra.
I heard Revival of the Bra too. Sorry, your network's getting kind of choppy. We didn't catch most of that.
You were going all Robo Josh on us. It was great.
Rundown episode 236, Revival of the Bra.
Hopefully, I'm recording and you'll hear it when it plays.
Yeah.
But the largest points with rehashing, you could see SmackDown turn into the NXT of the main roster. So you could see all of your NXT WWE ready stars move up to SmackDown representing an NXT brand, But NXT stays on the network with the younger people, the Carmellas, the Nakamura's, and those people, while your Finn Balor's get pulled up.
What do you mean by those people?
Everyone who's suspended for 60 days.
Co-ghost Sean says, Jason's network just said, "I choppy, your feed. Thank you, Sean.
I'm in the basement. What do you expect, you know?
You like how he watches every week, but he never actually comes on the show anymore?
It's great. He doesn't want to have to, talk for 5 hours.
Dick. Anyway.
All right. So yeah, there's that. Did we cover everything from his voicemail, or?
I think so. It was mostly just Shane McMahon. I personally am thrilled for Shane McMahon's return. I did get slightly spoiled on Facebook before it happened, so and I love.
I love how Troy snuck in the real thing that happened in that list of things, and that was the only one I liked.
Yeah, but that wasn't what spoiled me. I had seen something in the morning, and then that is what had prompted me to put up that Facebook post.
WWE put it on Facebook about 5 seconds after it happened.
So. But I am thrilled that he's back. I am intrigued by the idea of Shane McMahon versus Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, if only for exactly what Shane McMahon's going to do during the match, if he is still going to be Super Bump McMahon now, 15 years after the Attitude Era. But it's a question I'm intrigued by it because I want Shane to win because I want to see where they go with this. If this is truly an end to the Authority, or if this is a brand split situation, or Jason, if you said if it's siblings teaming up against dear old dad situation, I'm intrigued to see where the story goes if Shane wins. I am becoming slightly more convinced as I read more stories about it that this isn't just oh shit, what do we do for WrestleMania situation? Let's have Shane come in and fight a match, and then we'll never see him again. And he'll go back to his other projects, his other streaming websites and whatever that he's running. I have more and more faith going into it that this is going to be, if not a permanent thing, at least a quasi long-term thing, and we'll actually get something out of this whole Shane McMahon deal.
So we can see the exact same storyline that we had in the Attitude Era when all three McMahons are fighting against each other. That sounds great.
Well, and you know what though? Here's the other thing from Raw that I really enjoyed was that you finally got somebody giving Stephanie her comeuppance on the microphone.
Uh-huh. Do you have to shit on all of my parades?
Yeah. Oh, were you going there? Sorry.
No, I'm talking to Andy. Andy always shits.
Oh yeah, that's what I do, man.
I
only give you the lead role in the Shadow Vein podcast, ShadowVein.net. We just got 131 downloads just yesterday, so I assume that's more than we get here in a month, right?
Ooh, I hate you so much.
Hearts.
I beg you to come on this show, and this is the thanks I get.
Hey! You know what, Adam? We didn't talk about the most important thing in wrestling this week.
What's that?
The debut of the Edge and Christian Totally Awesome Reeks of Awesomeness show. Did you watch it?
It must be great if you can't even get the name right. Yes,
yeah,
I watched. I watched.
It was good.
The Edge and Christian show that totally reeks of awesomeness. I watched the first episode that aired after FastLane. I have not seen the second episode that aired after.
I have not seen the second either. I saw the first one, but I liked it. I think it's got some things to iron out. But
it was just the first episode, so.
But it was good. It was entertaining. I really enjoyed the retelling. My favorite segment was the retelling of famous promos.
The Jericho debut as yeah.
So amazing.
That was pretty great. I enjoyed the premise at the beginning because we had talked about it last week. Jason and I talked about it last week. The whole what the hell is going on in Vince's bathroom situation. I enjoy that universal remote seems to be appearing in every episode based on clips that I've seen.
Nice.
It's just them freezing Vince McMahon and then the selfie, showing the selfie at the end of the two of them with the frozen.
That was good.
And you had to find yourself playing along when they were playing Name That.
Yes, of course.
Yep.
No, I'm a big fan of the show. I know I was going to be. I'm looking forward to watching all the episodes.
My
out.
only thing that was disappointing was the Shockmaster bit was a direct ripoff from Tosh.0. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, it was a web redemption.
Down to the
format. It was a web redemption.
Yeah. They didn't even try to put a little twist on it. It was like the exact format.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy them calling him Shocky. Can I call you Shocky?
All right. What else we got to talk about? Anything? We good? We done?
I've got a whole list of stuff, but I will yield to the group. I do want to get in my NXT drinking game.
Yes, you had mentioned this in the text message.
So
hey, let's raise a drink. Let's do this.
So I'm watching NXT tonight, and I came up with this new drinking game. If you're watching NXT and Blake and Murphy are wrestling, every time they get a gratuitous shot of Alexa Bliss's ass, you take a drink. You'll be hammered by the end of the match.
Dubstep combos. Okay.
Nice. Good old Blake and Murphy.
Is that the only rule?
Is that the whole game?
That's the whole game.
You don't know how games work, do you?
You get to drink, and you get to look at Alexa Bliss's ass. What more do you want?
You're talking to the wrong crowd. But anyway.
I thought maybe it would be more overarching than that.
Maybe.
It's got a nice
like more rules.
Every time Corey Graves respects someone while also dissing them, take a drink.
There you go. We need to add rules. Maybe we'll add a rule once a week. How about that? It'll be Jason's set of NXT drinking game rules that is week by week. It's episodic. We can't give it all away at once, right? That's how we're doing.
If William Regal appears, chug. Because he's not on the show that much. Is my point. He's not on the show that much.
Take the NXT drink.
What would the NXT drink be? Like what would the mixed drink be that we call the NXT?
All right. Did we talk the Roman Reigns Triple H stuff yet?
The beatdown. You briefly mentioned it in saying that it should have happened at FastLane and not on Raw.
Definitely. It was great on Raw the way they ended it, of course. If you're WWE, you can't be thrilled at the fact that every time Roman did anything, the crowd mercilessly booed him, and your top heel is beating the shit out of your top face and getting wildly cheered for it.
Yes, and they did play the Yay Boo game during the main event of Fastlane for Dean Ambrose. That's another thing that I actually want to mention about Fastlane. The putting Brock Lesnar through two of the commentary tables to keep him out of the match for a while. Only would have been better if they'd used all three, but that's just me.
I thought the third one was coming.
I enjoyed that. And it would have been even better if they'd done it with a German suplex. But anyway, my wife was watching with me at the beginning of the show. She was on the computer playing WoW or something, and she goes, "Why? Since when is there a German announce team?" I was like, "Since when they need three tables."
But in the vein of that storyline, from what I read, it was Meltzer. I read a report from that basically said what he heard is that they're going with HBK coming in as a special referee and maybe Road Dogg as the timekeeper and set that match to really stack the deck against Roman.
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be Batista. When they had made the offer for Batista to be part of WrestleMania 32, it was originally for him to be the special referee in the Triple H versus Roman match.
But here's the problem, and again, it continues the lack of foresight. If you put Shawn Michaels in the match, aligned with Triple H, what's that going to do to Roman Reigns?
Yeah, no one will be cheering, that's for sure.
Exactly. It's just they don't get how to book this guy, and it's so obvious to anybody that watches it. It's very frustrating as a fan to sit there and try to watch it.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I don't even want to like Roman Reigns. Like, it's gotten to that point. Like, I know that it's not really his fault, but I try, but I just don't care.
You'll cheer him. And you'll like it.
I won't. Sean says on the side, they wanted to be ironic by making the Spanish announce table the only one that survived. That's so true.
I thought it was the German table that survived.
Maybe, was it?
Yeah, we are here at FastLane. We are very excited to see Brock Lesnar. He may do a few suplexes.
Does
You
that
gotta do
count
that
as
next one.
racism?
With a much better German accent.
What's that?
You gotta do his next comment since you're so good with the German accent.
Nein, Achtung, das ist eine Table breaking.
Thank you.
It's not racist because I am German. That's why it's not racist.
Oh, okay. Good enough.
That's like I can use the N-word because I know a lot of black people.
Oh God.
What's that? Is it a Daniel Tosh bit? And he's like, hey, my best friend is Cuban, and that's close enough.
That's called the Hogan defense.
Oh.
Booker T called me that once in WCW, brother. I was just getting back.
Let's see. Nakamura officially signed this week, right?
Yeah, he passed his physical. Signed his
got
contract.
cute little
They posted
pictures.
all the pictures on the tweeters.
Tweeters.
He also apparently did an interview regarding the cruiserweight tournament that they're talking about, trying to recruit Ibushi to come over and participate,
I did see
which
that.
would be phenomenal, no pun intended. I feel like I can't use the word phenomenal anymore now that AJ Styles is in the WWE. But yeah, that would be a real coup if they could get Ibushi over here for that tournament too. I mean, that would be amazing.
I don't know who that is.
Oh God, it's up your New Japan game, Adam. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't.
How can you be German and not have the Access Network?
Is that on USA?
Oh God.
Is
There's so many levels of that. I gotta.
Is that on Pop TV?
Let's see, what else did I have? That was interesting. Tyson Kidd might have to retire. I know that's been a favorite topic on this show in the past.
That's too bad.
I don't think he'll get the giant send off on Raw.
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe on NXT since that's where he was injured.
There you go. Well, no, he was injured on Raw. It was a dark match on Raw.
Oh, that's right. It was a dark match.
He got his swagger back in NXT, thanks to Neville, and now neither one of them's doing anything on the main roster.
Thanks, Dunn.
And Finn Balor dropping more teases of the Bullet Club this week, and hashtagging Bulletproof, which apparently has led some to speculate that will be Bullet Club's name in NXT when Anderson and Gallows show up, probably post WrestleMania or at the Takeover event in Dallas.
How long before he goes back to being Festus? Because you know that's going to happen, right? Like he's going to come in, like a bullet, no pun intended, and he'll make it to the main roster, and a few months later they'll not know what to do with him, so he'll become Festus again.
Carl Anderson becomes the new Jesse.
Yeah, exactly. And he'll just be like comatose and shit. It'll be great.
If you haven't seen these guys work as a team, it's not even close to that level. I don't think they're going to have any problem getting over it in a world where Enzo and Cass are going to be a top team in the WWE.
Would you say they work together better than biscuits and gravy?
Nice. Well played, sir.
Nothing works better than biscuits and gravy. I'm kind of hungry right now. It sounds great.
Bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs goes better than biscuits.
Maybe. Peanut butter and jelly.
Bacon and eggs.
all that I am. Ain't no ham and egg. That's something you've always been. All right.
Hurry up, Adam. I'm almost out of this booze.
Besides, paints his face now as a completely different person.
Sal says via text message that I'm not allowed to let you off the hook, that we need to play trivia. Okay. So.
All right, Sal, even though you were a dick to me last week.
he was a bit of a dick to you last week.
We will play trivia, and that's how we'll end the show.
Andy versus Jason in a round of trivia. Jason, since you're here all the time, you get to pick odds or evens.
Hey, what the fuck? Hey now, I am the only one with the true stamp that you've ever given of co-host that wasn't Sean. So I don't know about that. Okay, fine. I'll let the new guy go first.
All right.
How about that? How about I will decide to step down and let the new guy go first.
Shush.
All right. Last time I picked evens, and then I was saying that those were where he put all the hard questions, so I'm going to reverse psychologize Al here, and I'm going to pick evens again.
Again. So All right, so Andy gets the first question.
Okay, all right, let's do this. Wait, which version are we playing? Are we playing the one?
It is time once again.
I forgot it's Sal's. I don't listen to the show enough, apparently. Sorry.
Of course you don't. You never listen to the show.
I listened to it last week.
Okay, that's 1 out of 236 episodes.
Fuck off.
You're at like 0.005% of episodes listened.
Yeah. All right, go.
For Sal's Ultimate Trivia Challenge. After taking a hiatus because of last week's debacle of an episode, which I enjoyed, by the way.
This is talking about 2
Sal's
weeks
Ultimate
ago, by the
Trivia
way.
Challenge is
He's talking about the
back.
porno episode.
And this week's quiz is going to be all about the recently released DVD, Sunny Side. No, wait, sorry. That's a completely different quiz. Sorry about that. That will come at some other point. No, this week's quiz is going to be about wrestlers' real names. But here's the twist. I'm going to give you the real name, and then you're going to give me the wrestler's name. So I'm not going to make you remember people's real names to a point, but you're going to have to remember their ring name. Let's start with number 1.
Okay, I
stop there for a second?
just want to go around the logic of that. I'm not going to make you remember their real name. I'm just going to give you their real name, and then you have to remember their real name is associated with their ring name. But you don't have to remember their real name. You just have to remember their ring name.
Adam, can I be honest? I am awful at this. This is like my worst aspect of wrestling trivia. Like, I could care less what someone's real name is. I really could care less.
Well, looks like Jason's about to win trivia.
He's about to win. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to lose this.
Well, here's question 1, and it's for you.
Tom Brady wrestled for the WWF from 1996 to 1998, and he debuted under what ring name?
Tom Brady, Andy.
Sal Sincere.
Jason, do you wish to steal? Possible steal?
Listen to the Raw Attitude podcast, but yes, Sal Sincere.
The answer is Salvatore Sincere.
That's a point for
If
Andy.
you've been listening to the Raw Attitude podcast, that one was a freebie.
I haven't.
Question number 2. Alan Neil Jones has been wrestling for 18 years, but you know him as...
I didn't actually hear the name.
I want to say it was Alan Neil Jones, which really doesn't mean anything to me. But let's say he said 18 years, so it's obviously somebody.
But you know him.
What the fuck are you doing, Adam?
I was trying to see if I could go back to play it
What are
again.
you doing? He's in the middle of a train of thought here.
It's already been somebody who's been around for a long time.
Alan Neil Jones has been...
Yes, Alan Neil Jones.
Okay. God, that doesn't ring a bell in any way, shape, or form, but 18 years, let's say AJ Styles.
Andrew?
I'm going to go with Kane.
I know it's not that.
Okay. That's right, it's Glenn Jacobs.
18 years, but you know him as... And the answer is AJ Styles.
Well done.
Question number 3, John Cena wrestles as John Cena. Randy Orton wrestles as Randy Orton. Stuart Bennett had long feuds with both of them, but you know him as...
Andrew?
Stuart Bennett is what he said, right?
Yes, sir.
Stuart Bennett that had long feuds with both of those people. Who the I can see why they changed their name, Stuart. It's not much of a wrestling name. Let's see, who would be feuding with Cena and Randy Orton?
Jason says he knows.
I'm sure he does.
And he's dancing.
I could care less about names. I'm gonna go with Batista.
Who is it, Jason?
Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. It's not Wade Barrett.
And the answer is Stuart Bennett wrestles under the ring name Wade Barrett.
When did they have huge rivalries? Like when I think of big rivalries with those two, I don't think of Wade Barrett.
Oh, when the Nexus versus John Cena.
Okay, yeah, that was a big rivalry. Okay.
On the
Wade
side,
Barrett's only world title shot was against Randy Orton.
yeah. On the side, Sean says, Henry Hugepex, thanks, Sal, for the plug. Yes. You may know him as the Godfather, but his real name is actually Kama Mustafa. Actually, we can talk about that for just a second. They announced on Raw this week that the Godfather is going into the Hall of Fame.
What kind of garbage is that shit?
Why are they insistent upon inducting gimmicks and not people?
Because that's the one we'll remember.
I don't care if he was the Godfather and Kama Mustafa and Kama the Supreme Fighting Machine and Papa Shango. Induct fucking Charles Wright, okay?
Ooh, I hope that's a question.
If it is, you're welcome. But still, don't induct the Godfather. Induct the fucking dude who played the Godfather. It's like inducting Razor Ramon instead of Scott Hall. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Okay. This is Jason's question, I believe.
I do believe.
Except I think he's frozen.
I think my video dropped. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can still hear you, but we can't see you. Sean says, the Godfather gets inducted this year, but Papa Shango goes in next year. Oh, fingers crossed.
Question number 4. Terry Brunk. That's his name. Terry Brunk made his name as a hardcore wrestler, but not the name you may be thinking. Who did Terry Brunk wrestle as?
Well, he obviously is intimating that it isn't Terry Funk. So he made his name as a hardcore wrestler. Ah, jeez, that's not Terry Funk. Let's go Sabu.
That would have been my guess. Andy, care to attempt?
Tommy Dreamer.
Terry Brunk was famously known as Sabu.
Man.
Question number 5. Claudio Castagnoli has wrestled all over the world. Currently in the WWE, he is known as...
Claudio Castagnoli? Is that what it
Yeah.
was?
I'm dancing again, just so you know.
I was going to say, I get a feeling Jason knows this one too.
Cesaro?
Nailed it.
And the answer is Cesaro.
We said that
Question
word.
number 6. What about Jake Hager Jr.?
What was it?
Jake Hager Jr.
Sounds familiar, but I don't remember it. God, I think I'm far enough ahead at this point. I can take a flyer on one of
You're
them.
up by 1, Dick.
It's 3-2.
Jake Hager Jr. God, this sounds so familiar to me. Crap. Goddamn, I'm gonna need to guess. How about that sounds like the name of Braun Strowman. I'm just guessing.
Andy to steal?
Jake Hager Jr. He gave us no clue that time at all. By the way,
Yeah, I know.
here's a name.
I noticed that.
Tommy Dreamer, because I used it last time. I don't know.
I think my lead is safe.
You are correct. It's the all-American, American Jack Swagger.
He didn't have to change much when he came to his ring name. Do you know what his ring name is? The answer is Jack Swagger. Question number 7. Jonathan Good has been tearing up the WWE ever since he arrived on the scene in 2002. I'm sorry, in 2012. Jonathan Good has been tearing up the WWE ever since he arrived on the scene in 2012. What is that man's ring name? Well,
What was the name? Jonathan
Good.
Good. Since 2012. Okay.
Or 2002, one of the two.
Apparently. That's 10 years.
Diff.
Oh God. What? Tearing up the. Oh my gosh. 2012. Who would have started around 2012?
Say Brad Maddox.
Shut the fuck up.
Can we talk for a second about how Brad Maddox got fired for saying cocky prick at a house show and Vince McMahon said fucking beating on national TV?
He's the boss. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Did he then call him a motherfucker, or did I misread that part?
All I saw was that he said "fucking beating" under his breath.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Ryback.
I know that's incorrect. Jason, care to
I
steal?
don't know. I'm just naming fucking wrestlers.
I don't know who Jonathan Good is, but I know that it's not Ryback.
Jeez.
Sean says Jonathan Good is the alter ego of Johnny B. Bad.
I was gonna make a Johnny B. Bad joke too.
I'm so pretty. I should have been born a little girl.
2012. Goddamn.
I'm out of booze.
And what's this about Cesaro and a cauliflower cannoli?
Titus O'Neil.
Thank you, Sean. Oops, now I gotta get the thing back. Yank. Drum roll, please.
That man is the lunatic fringe Dean Ambrose.
Of course, we should have known. He's got a hard one from him.
Kobe Lewis might be the only man in the business who had his finishing move changed in the middle of his WWE title run. Kobe Lewis is also known as...
Jason?
WWE title run. Who changed their finisher in a title run? Goddamn.
Andrew is smiling.
I'm just... I'll wait.
Goddamn. Shawn Michaels changed it, but that was before his title run. I'm going to kick myself in the head for this one. I'm not knowing it. I know it. See, now I'm stuck on the clue. I'm not even thinking about the name anymore. Goddamn. Wasn't Orton. Wasn't Diesel. Do I have a time limit here?
Yes.
Okay.
My booze is up.
I don't know why I'm drawing a fucking blank on WWE's title runs.
Just pick one.
Randy Orton.
Okay, can I get bonus points, Adam? Because he got the name wrong.
Okay.
It's Seth Rollins and it's Kobe Lopez, so I deserve 2 points.
Well.
Because I know the guy.
Yeah. I was gonna say if you get this wrong, I would kick you myself. But
I used to commentate for this guy.
And the answer is Seth Rollins.
2 points because he got the name
And
wrong.
number 9.
No extra
What
points.
name did Rodney Anoa'i famously wrestle under?
Rodney was Fatu?
Oh, thanks. Fatu, because I believe it's mine.
Sean says, ironic that Jason said he would kick himself in the head for not knowing that Seth Rollins had his finisher changed. Hey-o. So
Fatu. I'm going to go Fatu. And that'll put me at 5 points when I win this one.
Unless he says Rikishi.
Same person.
And the answer is Yokozuna.
Oh.
And question number 10.
Oh, that's fine.
Austin Watson is quickly becoming one of the most popular wrestlers in the world. More or less for his ring skills than for his other endeavors, including his internet channel, his YouTube channel, and his promo work. Who is Austin Watson?
That would be one Xavier Woods. PhD.
Just in case you get it wrong, I'm going to go with Zack Ryder, but I know you're right.
Well, the answer is Austin Watson is Xavier Woods. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the quiz. Have a good week.
I want an extra point for putting in PhD.
With the bonus point, you guys tied. So
We'll go with it.
I'll say Percy Watson. Nobody said Percy Watson, Sean.
Oh, Sean. Oh.
Well,
that does it, doesn't it?
I'm spent.
With the bonus point, it's a tie.
Because he got the fucking name wrong.
Well, 4 months from now, we'll have a rematch when Andy's back on the show.
Name? Son of a bitch.
Yep.
Or whenever you get a working internet connection, one of the two.
My internet connection's fine. I forgot to plug in the laptop, so the power died, and it just wouldn't power the camera. I plugged it in just in time before it cut me off, but it hasn't charged enough to power the camera yet. So.
All right.
Well, Adam.
It's going to come back on, and Jason's suddenly going to be naked. It's gonna be really weird.
Oh, God.
Well, now that you mention it.
So the loudest pants ever.
Those are really loud pants.
It is kind of cold in the basement.
That does it for the rundown for this Wednesday, February 24th, 2016. 236 days since Finn Balor won the NXT Championship, and 7 days till I go under the knife for penile enhancement surgery.
Hey, you actually didn't lie to me either. We're going to be at an hour, maybe an hour and a half with the closing things here. So.
Such an asshole. Go to audibletrial.com/rundown for a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial. Sean says, tiebreaker question.
Record Reigns. Record Reigns. AKA, what? Go.
Lucky Pro Wrestling presents Blizzard Brawl at the Elks Lodge in Clinton, Massachusetts this Saturday, February 27th. Atlantic Pro Wrestling also presents Wrestling for Reading 3 this Saturday, February 27th at the John G. Whittier Middle School in Haverhill. Liberty States returns Saturday, March 5th at the John McCarthy Elementary School in Peabody, Mass. Follow us on Twitter at Rundown Podcast. Send an email to rundownwrestling@gmail.com or be like Sal and leave us a voicemail at 206-202-6478, 206-20.
Angst.
Yeah, you got it right this time.
Nailed it this time. There you go.
It took you 3 weeks. At least you didn't try to change the subject like some people do sometimes.
So are we talking about porn here or what?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like us on Facebook to your parents and your grandparents. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/rundownwrestling. To make a donation of the monetary variety, go to rundown.podomatic.com. Click the PayPal donate button on the right-hand side of the screen, or just go to PayPal and send some money to rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Watch
Or if you
archive.
see Adam in the street, just give him money there too. That works.
Archived episodes at youtube.com/rundownpodcast and circle me on Google Plus at google.com/plus Adam Rundown Host.
Circle that jerk.
Feeling constipated? Loosen yourself up at tinyurl.com/distant horizons. That's chasing distant horizons. It's poetry for your
asshole.
I fucking hate you.
Sean says, more plugs. We're going to talk about your goddamn podcast when we get to the sister podcast.
Hey, Sean!
section, which
Sean,
is
Sean,
next.
send me your logo.
That's not Sean's podcast. That's Henry Hugepeck's The Suplex Throwing Human Duplex podcast. Get it
Sean,
right.
send me your logo and I'll add it to my Twitch stream.
No, send him Henry's logo.
Sorry, send me Henry's logo.
Yeah, sister podcast. Some bullshit called Shadowvane.
Shadowvane.net. Check it out. You can go to Shadowvane on Facebook, or you can follow us on Twitter at ShadowVaneCast. We have a final episode coming out sometime.
And how can they give you money?
And how can what?
How can they give you money?
They can go to patreon.com/Shadowvane and definitely leave us a little bit of a monetary value, and maybe if you do, we'll get the episodes out a little bit more quickly. Also, don't forget, we have Tuning Japanese coming out next month. Bill, Josh, and myself are going to be talking about Japanese anime, 3 dudes in our 30s discussing anime. It'll be a good time, I promise.
And is that available on Stitcher?
That will be on Stitcher as well.
There you go.
That's how you get girls right there. 3 men in their 30s talking about anime.
It is.
I was getting to that. But anyway, Pen15 Club on Stitcher and iTunes, episode 2.
Yeah, right.
Eventually. Tuning Japanese, blah, 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 blah. And the Raw Attitude podcast featuring our old friend Henry Hugepeck's The Suplex Throwing Human Duplex, which is on iTunes and apparently is now on Twitter. But Sean did not tell us what the Twitter username is, just that it's on Twitter. So
just go to Twitter and look for Raw Attitude Podcast.
Yeah. There have been complaints, so I will not tell you to look us up on iTunes, another Rundown Wrestling podcast, where you can subscribe for actually absolutely free each and every week. And certainly don't go to Stitcher.com or the Stitcher app on your iOS or Android device and look for the Rundown Wrestling podcast on there as well. If you cannot afford a monetary donation, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Thank you to the person who left us a 5-star review this past week. We are now up to 19 total reviews. Still, fuck that one person who left us a 3-star review. You can eat a dick.
I wonder why that person left a 3-star review.
If you leave us a text review, we'll read your name and your review at the end of a future episode. 5-star reviews help other people find us. And we really appreciate that. If you haven't left a review in a while, go leave another one.
And 3-star reviews get you told to eat a dick.
Exactly. Go fuck yourself. 3 stars. Thanks to Tegan Brown for the logo. Thanks to everyone for listening each and every week. Thanks to Sean, co-ghost Sean on the side. Says at Raw Attitude Pod. That's the Twitter handle for the Raw Attitude Podcast, featuring Henry Hugeplex, the suplex throwing human duplex. Thanks to Jason.
I really wish my picture had frozen on a more flattering image.
Thanks to Andrew.
Of course. I'll be back at some point, folks.
Possibly next week.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, maybe, because you'll be under the knife getting your sex change.
Yes,
so.
I am gone for at least the next 2 weeks. We'll see how long it takes for me to come back, but at least the next 2 weeks I will not be here. Hopefully the show still exists when I get out of the hospital. But with that said, thanks to iFightDragons at ifightdragons.com for the theme song. It's not really a next week because I don't know what's going on.
What? Wait, what? Okay, if we are on next week, it'll be really awesome. Because
why do you say if? Why do you say if? Are you complaining?
I don't know. No, hey, maybe
you completely shirk your duties while I'm gone.
Maybe we'll get another Soupcast episode. Who knows?
Oh God.
Because you never know. It might be a slow week of wrestling, so we could talk about minestrone instead.
I mean, it was the
We are on the Hershey Highway to WrestleMania. There's no way it's going to be a slow week.
Oh, it'll be slow, and we'll get the next bump of the highest rated episode in history of the Rundown, which was Soupcast. So there you go. I
thought it was the China porn review.
That's the one that's been up the longest, but the
so to speak.
The Soupcast got the most downloads.
Yeah.
It's great. It's good radio. I'll just throw up an episode of Tuning Japanese, and then I'll throw up an episode of the Shadow Vein podcast, and really get you some listeners. So there you go.
God damn it.
Should we read some asshole poetry next week?
Sean says Andy and Henry Hugeplex will host the Raw Attitude Podcast takeover of the Rundown next week. No Rundown next week's, folks, just the RAP.
Hey, I would be all about it. I want to get on that. I want to get on the RAP. I want to be a part of the rap, so that'd be cool to do.
Good thing it's not the Raw Attitude Podcast era.
Oh, with that, folks.
Oh,
we should probably go.
I'm guessing that Henry Hugeplex is now sitting in his desk chair, holding his head in his hands, saying, "Why didn't I think of that?"
With that, folks. Jacob, good night, and good luck.
Go fuck
go
yourself.
To shadowvein.net.
And go fuck yourself.
At shadowvein.net. Well, don't do that there.
We'll miss you, Adam.
And I leave you with this thought. If the brand split does come back, does that mean we have to go back to brand-specific titles and pay-per-views too?
Maybe. Here's another thought. What happens if you die under the knife? Who gets your stuff?
How about we don't think about that?
Hey, I'm pretty sure the Suplex City shirt would only fit me, so...
Oh, there you go. I guess I get all of his DVDs, his action figures.
No, I don't have any action figures anymore.
Oh, darn.
They all got sold to Brutal Bob.
I'll take his mic.
Who gets the Brazzers password? Somehow I think that goes to Troy. I'm just guessing.
I'm thinking Troy. Troy deserves that.
Sean says Raw Attitude Podcast fans are rapists.
Oh God, let's go. We're done.
You owe me for that tagline, Sean.
We are so done. Bye, people.
Henry's lucky to have such a good hype man.
Bye. Stop recording. Oh, that's terrible.
Are we actually done recording, or are you just fucking with him, Adam?
I am done recording. I'm already starting the noise removal process right now.
Me too.
I love this new computer. 50 seconds to do noise removal. It makes my podcast producing so much easier.
Yeah. Definitely. Maybe the fans can be Raw Attitude Podcast enthusiasts.
Oh, that's so bad. So terrible. What number is this? 236?
Yes.
Thank you. Hey, I got it right this time. I'm learning.
We're gonna sign on to Skype, and the last one that you sent me is gonna be 224.
Hey. Actually, I'm gonna check right now, you dick. The last one I sent you was 232. That's only a month away. A month ago. And I was on number 231 and 230, and I was on the mini-sode. No, I was on 229, 230, the mini-sode, and then 232, and this one. Look at that. I'm a regular. Alright, let's see. File export. Not tuning Jeff. I got that I have a podcast problem when I have way too many folders for different podcasts here. Tuning Japanese Soupcast Shadow Vein Rundown. There we go. Okay.
Hey, I fixed it. Fixed it just in time for the after party.
This is the time we get sexy. After dark.
I really debated turning it back on without my shirt on, but looking for the ladies.
It would have immediately shut off again.
Or cracked.
Think. Oh God.
Oh, I think I'm gonna play. I probably should be able to get an hour of streaming in. I added your logo for the rundown.
Yay.
You can come watch me play.
Saturday, right, Adam?
What?
You working Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if you were doing Lucky Pro instead, but they didn't tell me to ring announce, so I was guessing
No.
you had to be there.
I thought I was doing Lucky Pro until I was informed that they had already found my replacement because he thought that I was going to have my surgery already. So I was telling him, he was like, I don't remember exactly how it came out, but I was like, yeah, looking forward to the show. He's like, oh, I already got somebody else to, or no, he came to me and said, I'm sorry that you're not going to be there. I'm like, I was going to be there. Why am I not going to be there?
Sean, what is this video? Hey, Sean, by the way, Bill and I were talking. You totally need to be on an episode of Tuning Japanese. We're going to do some episodes where we watch like an anime movie, and we want to try to get people on that maybe don't know that much about anime to like watch it or and talk about it. So I don't know if you're much of an anime fan. If you're not, even if you are, you can pretend because you're good at characters. So
apparently, it's something called Vegeta's dick.
I know. I just opened it up and I paused it because I'm like, what the fuck? I'm actually watching it right now. This video. Why does it keep kicking me in the dick?
Is it a Brock Lesnar match?
This is that thing that Josh always talks about, the Team 4-star.
Wow. I can't believe every single one of them kicked you in the dick.
That was for my dick.
I still maintain
that was entertaining. Thank you, Sean.
I still maintain they should do a gimmick where Heyman comes out and says that they've surgically removed Lesnar's testicles to make him invincible.
Oh, yes.
Think of the T-shirt: no balls, no testicles, all balls on the back.
That'd be pretty fantastic. Adam, I'm sending you the file.
Is that related to the APA always pounding ass shirt?
Oh my god! Fuck.
Possibly the worst phrased T-shirt ever.
I think you get one of those T-shirts with every Skype session with Sonny.
Yeah.
Ew. All right. On that note, folks, I'm going to take off. I'm going to do a little bit of streaming and then crash because I got to be up early. We're driving over 2 hours to go to see a play with the students tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
You can
But I don't have to teach. Yeah, I'm probably going to read or grade or something, but I won't have to teach, so I'm looking forward to it. I get a day off. It'll be great.
Lesnar being castrated. Eunuch City?
Yes. Yes. Well played, Sean.
There you go.
All right, folks. It was fun. I'll catch you guys later, though.
Goodbye, YouTube.
Later.
Yep, and Adam, be on the lookout for hopefully the script soon.
Yep.
All right.